Hello students, good morning. Yesterday we have completed scope of microeconomics. Let us see features of microeconomics in today's lecture. First feature is studies individual units. Microeconomics is the study of behavior of small individual units, example, households, particular industries, firms, particular commodities, individual markets, etc. म्हणजेच काय, स्टडी ऑफ इंडिव्हिज्युअल युनिटमध्ये एखाद्या पर्टिक्युलर फॅमिलीची ॲन्युअल इन्कम किंवा एखाद्या इंडस्ट्री किंवा फर्मचं ॲन्युअल टर्नओव्हर, कुठल्या पर्टिक्युलर कमॉडिटीजला जास्त डिमांड आहे, इंडिव्हिज्युअल मार्केट्स etc. Second point is price theory. Microeconomics is known as price theory because the theory of product pricing and factor pricing determines the theory of goods and services. प्राइस थिअरी म्हणजेच मायक्रोइकॉनॉमिक्स असं म्हणलं जातं, कारण आपण थिअरी ऑफ प्रॉडक्ट प्राइसिंगमध्ये डिमांड अँड सप्लाय ऑफ अ प्रॉडक्टची स्टडी करतो. अँड बिकॉज ऑफ डिमांड अँड सप्लाय आर द मार्केट प्रोसेस, दे डिटरमाइन द प्राइस. त्याच्यानंतर थिअरी ऑफ फॅक्टर प्राइसिंग. थिअरी ऑफ फॅक्टर प्राइसिंगमध्ये कालच आपण बघितलं की रेंट, वेजेस, इंटरेस्ट आणि प्रॉफिट अशा प्रकारचे रिवॉर्ड्स आपण फॅक्टर्स ऑफ प्रोडक्शनला देतो, विच आर लँड, लेबर, कॅपिटल अँड एंटरप्रिनर. ओके. नेक्स्ट इज पार्शियल इक्विलिब्रियम. दिस concept is very much important. It is asked for definition also, and so you have to learn by heart it. So microeconomics is based on ceteris paribus, which means assumptions. That is, other things remain constant. What do you understand by assumptions? Assumptions म्हणजे गृहीत, एखादी गोष्ट गृहीत धरायची. ठीक आहे. तसंच पार्शियल इक्विलिब्रियम म्हणजेच सेट्रिस पॅरिबस, ज्याचं आपण कॉमन वर्ड्समध्ये म्हणतो की अदर थिंग्स रिमेन्स कॉन्स्टंट. एक ठराविक गोष्ट बदलत राहते आणि बाकीच्या गोष्टी ह्या कॉन्स्टंट असतात, त्या बदलत नाहीत. ओके. फॉर एक्झाम्पल, लॉ ऑफ डिमांड इज बेस्ड ऑन assumptions like income of consumer remains constant, population of country remains constant. It studies equilibrium position of a firm, industry, market using partial equilibrium analysis. म्हणजेच काय की पार्शियल इक्विलिब्रियममध्ये फक्त इंडिव्हिज्युअल फॅक्टरची स्टडी केली जाते आणि कशाच्या आधारे, अदर थिंग्स रिमेन कॉन्स्टंट. So this is very much important concept, keep this in mind. Next is based on certain assumptions. Microeconomics is based on certain assumptions which are unrealistic, like full employment, perfect competition, pure capitalism, etc. Then comes slicing method. This is also important point from the view of microeconomics because it divides or slices the economy into small units and studies each unit in detail. For example, study of a particular household demand in detail. एखाद्या घराच्या पूर्ण महिन्याची किती डिमांड असेल हे डिटेलमध्ये स्टडी केलं जातं, म्हणून त्याला काय म्हणतात, स्लायसिंग मेथड. नेक्स्ट इज यूज ऑफ मार्जिनल प्रिन्सिपल. दिस इज ऑल्सो व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट कन्सेप्ट. मार्जिनल मीन्स व्हॉट? मार्जिनल मीन्स चेंज ब्रॉट अबाउट इन टोटल बाय अन ॲडिशनल युनिट. सपोज आपल्याकडे 10 युनिट आहेत, 10 युनिट्सचं सॅटिस्फॅक्शन आपल्याला झालंय, पण आपल्याला अजून एक पाहिजे. म्हणून आपण अजून एक घेतो, अजून एक म्हणजे 11वं युनिट ॲडिशन करतो आणि मग आपल्याला जास्त सॅटिस्फॅक्शन मिळतं. तर त्याला काय म्हणणार आहे आपण? मार्जिनल युनिट. जो 11वा युनिट आपण एक एक्स्ट्रा ॲड केला, दॅट इज कॉल्ड ॲज मार्जिनल युनिट. All important microeconomic decisions are taken at the margin. For example, marginal utility, marginal product, marginal cost, etc. Next comes analysis of market structure. Microeconomics analysis different markets like perfect competition, monopoly, oligopoly, monopolistic competition, etc. and explains price determination in different market structure. Next is limited scope. The study of microeconomics is related to individual economic unit only. It does not deal with macroeconomic problems like inflation, unemployment, poverty, economic growth, etc. Next is microscopic approach. It is the microscopic study of the economy. Example, study of the behavior of individual economic unit. Next is economic welfare. Maximum welfare of the society with scarce resources by avoiding the wastage of resources to achieve efficiency. So here we complete the features of microeconomics. Next we are going to see is the importance of microeconomics. In that, the first point is price determination. In microeconomics, prices of goods and factors of production are determined in the product and factor market through market mechanism. म्हणजेच मगाशी बघितल्याप्रमाणे डिमांड अँड सप्लाय फोर्सेस ज्या मार्केटमध्ये अस्तित्वात आहेत हे प्राइस ठरवतात. सो दॅट इज कॉल्ड ॲज प्राइस डिटर्मिनेशन. नेक्स्ट, working of a free market economy. In such an economy, economic decisions such as what to produce, how much to produce, how to produce, etc. are taken up by the private individuals. These decisions are based on consumer preferences or demand for product. Next point is international trade. Microeconomics also explains gains from international trade, effects of tariffs, factors affecting exchange rate, etc. Fourth point is economic model building. Means what? Microeconomics builds simple model which help us in understanding complex economic situations. Decisions taken by an individual are the basis for the working of economy. Means what? की आपल्याला एक अंदाज येतो, आपल्याला गुंतवणूक करायची आहे का नाही, आपल्याला सेविंग्स करायचे आहेत का नाही, आपण घर घ्यायचंय का नाही, हे करण्यासाठी एक आराखडा किंवा एक जो पिक्चर असतो तो तयार होतो आणि त्याच्यावरनं इंडिव्हिज्युअल डिसिजन्स घेऊ शकतो विच विल हेल्प इन बूस्टिंग द इकॉनॉमी. नेक्स्ट इज पब्लिक फायनान्स. It is also useful in analyzing the impact of direct tax and indirect tax on economic welfare, allocation of resources, etc. Next is optimum allocation of resources. It explains how the resources are allocated and utilized optimally to produce various goods and services in a capitalist economy. Optimum allocation of resources results in maximum production without waste of scarce resource. Next point is useful to government. It is useful in formulating and evaluating economic policies, including pricing and distribution policies that promote economic welfare. It is useful in determining tax policy, public expenditure policy, etc. And the last point is basis of welfare economics. It explains how optimum use of resources can be made to increase the welfare of the society by eliminating inefficiency in production. Let's see some definitions given by the economist. The first definition is given by Professor Kenneth E. Boulding. According to him, macroeconomics deals not with individual quantities as such, but with aggregates of these quantities. Not with individual income, but with national income. Not with individual prices, but with price level. Not with individual output, but with national output. From this definition, it is very much clear that microeconomics studies all the things at national level or at country level, not at individual level. Second definition is given by Professor J.L. Hansen. According to him, macroeconomics is that branch of economics which considers the relationship between the large aggregates such as the volume of employment, total amount of savings, investment, national income, etc. म्हणजेच काय, मॅक्रो इकॉनॉमिक्स ही इकॉनॉमिक्सची अशी ब्रांच आहे जी व्हॉल्यूम ऑफ एम्प्लॉयमेंटबद्दल अभ्यास करते. पूर्ण देशामध्ये टोटल अमाऊंट ऑफ सेविंग्स किती आहेत, टोटल अमाऊंट ऑफ इन्व्हेस्टमेंट किती आहे, नॅशनल इन्कम किती आहे, याबद्दलचा जो अभ्यास केला जातो त्यालाच काय म्हणायचं आहे, मॅक्रो इकॉनॉमिक्स. And the last definition is given by Professor M.C. Connell. According to him, macroeconomics examines the forest, not the trees. It gives us a bird's eye view of the economy. Now let us study the scope and subject matter of macroeconomics. Macroeconomics is a study of whole economics which deals with macro variables like national income, total employment, general price level, economic growth, etc. It examines the interrelation among these macro variables, the determination and causes of fluctuations in them. म्हणजेच या व्हेरिएबल्समध्ये काय चेंजेस होतात, एकमेकांशी ते कसे रिलेटेड आहेत, ह्याबद्दलचा अभ्यास मॅक्रो इकॉनॉमिक्समध्ये केला जातो. मॅक्रो इकॉनॉमिक्स इज ऑल्सो नोन ॲज थिअरी ऑफ इन्कम अँड एम्प्लॉयमेंट बिकॉज इट एक्सप्लेन्स द फोर्सेस विच डिटरमाइन द लेवल ऑफ नॅशनल इन्कम अँड एम्प्लॉयमेंट इन द इकॉनॉमी अँड ॲनालायझेस द कॉजेस ऑफ फ्लक्च्युएशन्स इन देम. It also explains the determinants which bring about increase in national income, output, employment over a period of time. You can see in the table that microeconomics theory is divided into 4 parts: theory of income and employment, theory of general price level and inflation, theory of economic growth and development, and the fourth one is macro theory of distribution. The first, theory of income and employment, is again divided into theory of consumption function and theory of investment function. Again, these two are divided into one, the theory of business cycle fluctuations. Means what? Theory of income and employment is studied to understand how the level of income and employment is determined. We have to study the determinants of aggregate supply and aggregate demand and further study consumption function and investment function. Both these functions interact to determine level of income, employment, interest and general price level. These things we are going to study in future lessons. Okay? Now next, theory of general price level and inflation. Macroeconomics deals how the general price level is determined. The problems of inflation and deflation are serious economic problems faced these days by most of the countries in the world. The theory of price level studies and causes the effects of inflation and deflation and suggests policies to tackle these problems. Next is theory of economic growth and development. Macroeconomics studies the causes of underdevelopment and poverty in the poor countries and suggests the strategies for accelerating growth and development in the country. Growth theory also deals with the problems of full utilization of increasing productive capacity in the developed countries and explains how the higher rate of growth with stability can be achieved. And the last one is macro theory of distribution. Macro theory of distribution deals with the relative share of rent, wages, interest and profits in the national income of various classes, especially laborers and capitalists. I hope you have understood today's lecture. Thank you. Stay home, stay safe.